If you're new to using cottage cheese in your baking, you have nothing to fear. You will be amazed how much moist, rich flavor it adds to my gluten-free double chocolate chip banana bread. The cottage cheese is blended with the bananas, removing its curdled texture. The result is a delicious bread that is also naturally sweetened with honey. It's gluten-free with oat flour that you can quickly blend at home. This bread definitely hits the spot if you're craving a chocolatey, nutrient-dense, and flavor-rich dessert. We'll begin by lining our bread pan with a piece of parchment paper. This is one of my favorite hacks because it makes it so easy for getting the bread in and out of the pan. So we're going to begin by folding one side square with the edges, and then we'll place our pan on top. Lift the other side, create a quick score line, move the pan, fold it down on our score line, fold it square, and then flip it over, push it down into our pan, and score the bottom, then fold the top over, fold the other side over, and it's ready to go. And then you will want to give it a quick spray with some non-stick, particularly on the exposed ends. To make our banana bread, we're going to combine our wet ingredients, and we'll start with 2 ripe bananas. And you want to make sure that they have the brown spots on the outside, because that lets you know that they are at maximum sweetness. Now, if you're like me, you recognize the nutritional value of cottage cheese, but you're not crazy about the curdled texture. Well, we're going to go ahead and add ½ cup of cottage cheese in with our bananas, and then we're going to mix them together with immersion blender, which will eliminate that texture. As our natural sweetener, we're going to add 1/3 cup of honey and 1/3 cup of oil. My favorite is extra light virgin olive oil. And to add flavor, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and ½ teaspoon of almond extract. Now I'll just take my immersion blender and then mix them until everything's well blended. And now our mixture is nice and smooth, and we don't have any curdled cottage cheese texture or banana chunks. Since we were mixing those quite a bit to get them well blended, we wanted to wait to add in our eggs. So now we can add in 2 eggs plus 1 egg white. And then to mix these together, I'm just going to use the whisk attachment on my immersion blender. And then we'll just mix these until they're well combined. Now we can add our dry ingredients, which includes 1 2/3 cups of oat flour. And you can simply take old-fashioned oats or quick oats, just put them in a blender and mix them for about 30 seconds, and you will instantly have oat flour. And we'll add 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and ½ teaspoon of salt. And then we want to just gently whisk these until they're well combined. Now to make this a double chocolate bread, we're going to add ½ cup of mini chocolate chips. But I'm going to actually reserve, about a teaspoon of them to be able to sprinkle on the top. And I'll just manually mix these in real gently. And then now we can simply pour our batter into our prepared bread pan. And this batter is just so nice and thick and chocolatey and smells absolutely amazing. And I'll just take my remaining mini chocolate chips and just sprinkle them on top, which will make it extra tasty and emphasize the fact that this is a double chocolate chip bread. Many times, gluten-free quick breads don't get quite as much rise as your typical gluten breads. So one hack that can help give this bread a boost is to put it into a 425-degree oven. And then you're going to cook it just for 10 minutes. At the end of that 10 minutes, you leave the bread in the oven, turn down the temperature to 350. Then you're going to set your timer for an additional about 38 minutes. When your timer goes off, you'll want to check it with a toothpick to make sure the toothpick comes out dry. Now you can also just put this into a 350-degree oven, but it would need to cook for probably about 50 minutes. Now once you take your bread out of the oven, you'll want to set it on the counter and let it cool for about 10-15 minutes, and then you can simply raise the bread with your parchment paper up and out of your pan. Because of all the chocolate chips that are in this bread, you'll definitely want to let it cool before you try slicing it. So this is a loaf that I cooked earlier that has had plenty of time to cool. You can see the beautiful shape that it creates, and then it has that beautiful crack down the middle that's filled with those chocolate chips. Now in my household, we like to just barely cut off the end of the bread so that we can get right into the really moist and delicious part. So let's go ahead and trim this. Oh man, that looks so good. Just has a nice firmness to it, but then you can see how soft it is and cooked throughout. And by using the mini chocolate chips, it makes it much easier to cut because you have those smaller chunks of chocolate. Now you can see just how easily that breaks apart with just that beautiful cake to it. Now for the best part. That is so good. That's like a delicious chocolate party in my mouth. I love the soft texture from the bread and then the little bit of crunch from those mini chocolate chips. And then I get just that delicious sweetness from the honey. And then I get those other rich flavors coming from the apple cider vinegar and the vanilla and the almond extract. And then I get that real earthy and homey flavor of the oat flour that is so good. I promise you will never guess that there is cottage cheese in this bread. So not only is it emotionally satisfying because it's double chocolate bread, but it's also physically satisfying because you're eating something that is nutrient dense and doesn't have a speck of processed white sugar or white flour in sight. Now, of course, this is a treat and it should definitely be eaten in moderation. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen to make this quick, delicious bread. If you'd like to see the full recipe card for this video, I've included a link in the video description below. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love to have a delicious double chocolate bread who won't believe that it has cottage cheese in it, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen next time.